There are two types of guys women absolutely love. They go crazy over them. They, and this is the only real battle. This is the battle at the top of the battles. Throughout any time in history, throughout any culture, throughout any race, you're going to see that at the top, you're going to see women love these two guys. The first one, so let's get number one. Number one, the number one guy that all women love, all women, everywhere, no respect of class, no respect of any of that shit, is the bad boy. That's right, is the bad boy. In the black community, you want to call them Pookie and Ray Ray. That's what the bad boy would fall in that category. On the other side, it would be, it would be Brad or Chad. Pick one. It would be the guy in the leather jacket and the motorcycle with the tattoos. The bad boy. The bad boy is always an archetype. We're talking about archetypes. Women love the bad boy archetype because he represents rebellion. He represents actually pushing against the father and the men in her family's control. A father is going to raise this girl up to be nice, prim, proper, respected. He wants somebody to be right for his little princess, and she's going to think about the dude that just talks to her the way she needs to be talked to, and screwed the way she needs to be screwed. Shout out to Alan Roger Curry when he talked about how he met this judge one time from this upper bourgeoisie family and couldn't figure out why his daughter loved this street dude. Hey man, he said he fucks me the way I need to be. You can't, like it or not, this is at the crux of the Pookie Ray Ray argument. Because women love bad boys. Women love bad boys. I could give you all the psychological reasons, but that's just the truth. The rebellion, the danger, all of it. And here's the thing. You can lie to yourself and think that that changes some point in life. It doesn't. It doesn't. They just stop talking about it as much. There's never a place where women get to like, well, I went through my bad boy phase and now I want Mr. Rogers. No, that's shit that they tell you guys. They tell you that so you won't feel guilty and won't feel inadequate trying to measure up to the dude she's really thinking about while you on top of her doing the best you can. Shut the front door. That is the truth. The unvarnished truth. They tell you that you're acceptable while she's thinking about the guy she really wants while you laying on top of her doing the best you can. But you get that missionary position. You get, the transactional, kind of stuff. And I talked about a video today how to fix this shit. Because everybody can't be a bad boy. Everybody can't be a bad boy because you don't want to take penitentiary chances. You are too law and order. And I'm not judging. See, this is amoral and pragmatic. I don't care if you like it. Everybody can't be the bad boy. You don't want to take those risks. And that's cool. The bad boy is always going to be one of the top. Bad boy. Think about even back when we had the quintessential all-American show, Happy Days. Who was the most successful character on there? Fonz. Hey. Even in that idyllic, lily whitewashed America, Richie Potsy, the Cunninghams, Joni Chachi, all-American Al's Burger Shop and Bebop and Poodle Skirts and all that. Who comes up? The leather jacket wearing, motorcycle riding, knock on the door, jukebox work, looks at a girl, come up. I mean, just go back and look at 1970s and look at how cool, how much of a dom game Fonzie was running. Fonzie was running a dom game in the 70s. Fonz was the shit. Bad Boy. That character existed because they knew women would gravitate towards it. Somebody had to say it. I'm going to tell you, that's what it is. But there's another guy that women love. Again, it's an archetype. And they love this guy just as universally. Even the women that say they don't. And this guy is going to be the more controversial of the ones, because this is the guy women actually say they don't dig as much as they really do. They'll come out of their mouth and say, oh, I don't like guys like that. See, most women will agree out front, yeah, I like bad boys, because we know it's more socially acceptable. But this other guy, they'll come out and they're like, I mean, you know, some women like him, but I don't like him as much. You know, I like my guy a different one. And you know what that one is? It's the pretty boy. Yup, the pretty boy. The bad boy and the pretty boy. Now, when I say pretty boy, I'm not talking about delicate features, fingernails. Get that shit out of your head. I'm talking about what some people call the jawline. Jeremy Meeks. Remember that dude? The guy who had went from the mug shot to being a kept man? The jawline with the eyes. The pretty boy. Pretty boys, there will be women that be like, I don't like a guy that's I don't like a guy that's pretty. I like a guy that's rugged face. And there'll even be guys who are like, man, get bullshit. And I love it. And see, and this is one that guys tend to have a problem with, because most men will accept the bad boy because he's masculine and he, you know, when you say pretty boy, it pisses a lot of rock face niggas off, because a lot of rock face dudes off because they can't be the pretty boy. Because a pretty boy is a face guy. Don Draper, Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio. See, a lot of times they'll try to paint the pretty boy as some kind of effeminate weakling, and that ain't it. Not even by a long shot. That's what a lot of dudes who really hate on this dude, this archetype, try to paint him as. And that's cool. He's still gonna fuck your bitch. Because women like bad boys and pretty boys. Women, there's shit that women will take to their grave. They will never tell anybody anything. Women's ability to deceive and keep secrets far exceed ours. There are some Darth Sidious shit about this. It's actually admirable. If we could use it, maybe it's good that we don't have that power. But women, when it's all said and done, they will tell you, yeah, I'm married. I love my husband. I have sat with women who love their husband, just coming back from her side dude. I have seen it myself. Wasn't a husband, it was a boyfriend. But I'm sitting back. All right, let's story time. Okay. A young Kev was out there doing this. I was out in Houston just running amok. I was in my 20s. And there was this chick, we're going to call her Lisa. Lisa was, she was bad. Ooh, she was bad. Dudes wanted to holler at her, but she had a thing for me. But I knew Lisa had a boyfriend in California. And see, as far as I'm concerned, I don't respect long distance relationships. See, my aunt told me this a long time ago. I grew up being this guy who'd be like, all right, Joshua, you know, I like old girl, but she says she's dating Joshua. Or I think old girl's cute, but oh, okay, Chesterfield. You don't have to do anything, dude. You don't have to go anywhere with a made up story. You can go bye-bye. And I'm used Chesterfield. See, a nigga with the name like Chesterfield Archibald III, you know this dude's dick looked like the Sahara. And he comes to anyway. I like old girl, but that's Chesterfield's girl. My aunt told me, he's like, look here, son. You are single until you're married. A woman says she has a boyfriend, she's dating someone, or boyfriend, doesn't matter. You're single. So if you wait until you find a woman, and she told me, you wait until you find a woman who's single, you always gonna be alone. Women always got somebody. This is a woman that told me that. She freed me up because I felt bad. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you can't wait. He's like, look, man, you like pretty women. A pretty woman's always gonna have a boyfriend and several guys floating around her. You just gotta shoot your shot and let her pick. Because look, she may be the one for you. And if you don't shoot your shot, that means some other man could be with your woman. And I was like, you know what? She's logically right. So I didn't respect long distance relationships. I wouldn't mess with anybody's wife because that's a vow thing. But boyfriend, girlfriend, if you don't bother you, it don't bother me. So anyway, we're in Houston. Her boyfriend's in California. I'm like, all right, you at my house. Apparently it ain't that damn serious. She's a sentient being. Hell. Anyway, we end up getting it in a long, prolonged, it wasn't no going out and diner and dancing. No, it was just straight up come over. We getting it in. It was the summertime in Houston. It was hot, sweaty, sticky, 12 play kind of sex shit going on. Actually, Shy was playing in the background. Shy in a portrait, some damn mint condition. This is back in the day of calling cards. And I remember after we would get, I'm not gonna give you the details, but we did shit that I'm like, God damn, you nasty. My girl. Woo! Yes. This kind of shit you'd only see on porn. I'm like, wow. And she was good too. I mean, she was really, really good. Really good. I was like, wow. Not only are you willing, you're good at this. Anyway, can I use your phone? I'm like, all right. Got on my phone. Back in the day of the calling cards, you had to dial that 25-digit code, then the 10-digit phone number. Hello? Hey, baby. I'm sitting here and dick still glistening. It had all her... I'm standing outside, it's a summer breeze outside, dick still glistening. Cause she had a pager and she got paged and she calls him up, hey, baby. And I'm like, baby. But I was curious. I'm like, okay. Hey, yeah, I miss you too. Dude, I had never seen this before. Now understand, we just did some savage fucking. And this woman, in under 5 minutes, picked up the phone and went into a Hollywood performance. Yeah, honey. Yeah, I do too. And I'm like, I listen to you, big bro. I'm like, I believe what she's saying. I believe it. So part of me was like, this is fantastic. She's doing some fantastic acting. But then the savage part of me said, no, you didn't. What makes you think you can do this in front of me? So I politely put her ass back in the buck. She's on the phone. I walk over and I walk in front of her, still swinging. Next thing I know, she starts to pleasure me while she's on the phone. I'm like, but she's getting off on this. How do I know she's getting off on it? She's got the phone here and a hand between her legs doing her thing. I'm like, okay. Understand, I had never seen anything like this before, but I wanted to see where this goes. This is the whole thing about being open to exploration and everything else. This is why the bad boy wins more often, because bad boy will be like, whatever. I had to learn this stuff. So I'm like, she's on the phone with the dude, playing with herself. It's like, okay. Then I'm like, he can't hear this because she wasn't making any slurping sounds or whatever. But I'm like, so I was like, well, if that's what you're gonna do, and I figured maybe they get off the phone after a couple of minutes. Maybe she just no. She had a full conversation with this dude. So I'm like, well, if you're gonna go that far, let's see. And I wanted to see how far she was gonna take it. So I was like, okay. Got her back up in the position, arched that back, faced that direction, and I dropped this shit down off in her drawers. And I went, I'm like, did you just, while this nigga on the phone? I'm telling you this so you understand something. I said I believed her when I heard her on the phone. If I was that, I think to myself, that dude believed everything she said. And I've been that dude on the other end of the line before because I had long distance relationships. I'm not telling you some shit I have not been. I've been punked. I've been cheated on. I've had this shit happen to me before. So don't be looking at me like I'm some damn villain. This happened to me too. And it's happened to you too. If you think it ain't, you just don't know about it. If you believe what they're saying, if you're not her bad boy or her pretty boy, if you're not her imprint. So anyway, I'm just kind of sliding in there with Shy in the background. Do, 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 do. Ooh, and H-Town knocking boots and stuff. I'm like, and I was just kind of, but you know, after a while, because you're on the second session, you can go longer too, but after a while, I'm just kind of like, no. And she had this long hair back, and this is no weave stuff, so I can wrap that up. Do. And she, anyway, long story short, okay, I gotta call you back. All right, baby. I love you. I miss you. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Okay. Bye. Click. I'm like, Lisa taught me a lot. She taught me a lot, but she taught me a lot that night. And I like, after broke her off and did whatever, I said, Lisa, real talk. I just broke up with my girlfriend, who I really dug. So I was in that place where she was a great sex partner. And I was like, for the longest, I was attracted to you and that sexual tension was there, but you had a man and I just got, and I was like, but I just said, fuck it. You made yourself available and we decided to just do this thing. But you told him you love him. And she's like, I do. I love John. What? I love John. I love him. We're getting married. What? Yes, we're getting married. We're going to get married. He's coming up here next week and we're going ring shopping. I'm like, but we just have Freaky Circus P.T. Barnum kind of sex. He's like, yes. And I love every minute of it. But I love him. I love your sex, but I love him. I had a choice to make. I could have either just said that's an anomaly, she was crazy, she was lying, or I could let my life, or I could play the tapes back in my life and go back over the times that I've been John and realize that there was something different when I got around my woman. Something was quite off. It seemed like somebody didn't, like the three little, somebody's been sleeping in my bed. This part, see, dude, if you've ever had a woman, if you've ever thought a woman cheated on you, she has. When somebody has been in your porridge. I've been on both sides. And I said, it's all in the game. I didn't make her do what she wanted to do. I didn't make her do anything. She's single. And look here, man, they are married. They are married. Last time I checked, they were married. John was freaking rich. I was not. John was a really solid dude from what she used to tell me, but this went on for months until I actually moved to another side of Houston and just kind of cut it off. But I had a lesson to learn. I've been on both sides of that phone, but I vowed I was like, never again. So I stopped having long distance relationships at that point. I stopped. If we're not close enough to where I can see you, you don't get a title. I maybe date you from out of town. If you come in town, we get no titles. Cause I've been played. Yes. And I remember what made it set in for me is when I went back and played the tapes, and I was like, okay, that's why I didn't get the phone call back. That's why she got the phone. So I started to really realize, like, look here, man, women's sexual nature is just like us. She enjoyed that shit. I was having my fun, but she was having more fun because she was on the phone with this dude, pleasuring this dude, and just in her own little. I'm like, wow, who really was? Take the story up the way you want to.